Hey guys, welcome back. So I wanted to do a part 2 to my other video in regards to my birthing experiences, vaginal versus C-section. YouTube only lets you upload, I think like a video that's under 15 minutes. So, and when it comes to that topic, like there's so much that I can talk about and go in depth about. I just didn't have enough time. So it's probably good that I do a second video anyways. But I just wanted to go more in depth like about my experience like from beginning to end and like how it's affected my fitness and all that good stuff. So I want to start with giving birth to my son. He was a vaginal delivery. Like I said in the first video, everything went really smooth with him from the moment that I found out I was pregnant up until, giving birth. Like everything was great. But obviously as women, and if you've given birth before, you know that it's not always rainbows and butterflies, that our bodies go through a lot, and it's not always pretty, right? So anyways, like I said, had a great pregnancy with him. I gave birth to him at 39 weeks and 4 or 5 days. So it was right at the due date that they had given me at the hospital or the doctor's office, whatever. So I was actually at home cleaning. So had no idea that I was basically going into labor. I started having contractions. They were like really mild contractions, nothing like super painful, or just kind of felt like a period cramp, I sat down on the couch, called my husband because he was at work, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm having contractions, so I'm going to call the doctor's office, my midwife. So I called her and they tell me to come in. And so he got off work, we went to the doctor's office, and she was like, I feel the baby's head. We're going to have a baby tonight. So I was like really excited and nervous at the same time, like, yeah, just a bundle of emotions. But I was 3 centimeters dilated and had no idea. So sitting at home, I was 3 centimeters dilated and his head was like about to come out. So it's crazy when I think about it. So anyways, they admit me into the hospital, and fortunately, the hospital that I was giving birth at had a jacuzzi tub. So that was like so nice. I sat in the jacuzzi tub up until about 7 centimeters dilated because it was like such a relief and it just felt so good, so relaxing. Up until about that point though, because if you've given birth, you know that the more you progress, the worse it hurts. So no matter where you're sitting, jacuzzi tub or the hospital bed, like it's uncomfortable and it hurts. I'm not even gonna try to downplay it. Personally, I think I handled the contractions like a champ. It was super uncomfortable for me. Like it was really hard to just find a position that I could get comfortable in. So for me, that was like the roughest part. And as I said in my first video, my midwife, we started talking about when it comes time to push and whatnot. And so she told me about the ring of fire, like I said before. And in my mind, I just had like certain fears that I wasn't going to be able to like focus on the priority, which was getting him out. I just had certain fears. So I went ahead and went through with the epidural at like right at 9 centimeters dilated, like I said before. My advice and recommendation would be if you know that you're going to get an epidural, go ahead and do it right away, because I'm not even going to lie. When you're trying to get an epidural at almost 9 centimeters dilated, it stinks because you're having contractions that are so close together. When you're getting an epidural, you know that you have to sit really still when they're giving it to you in your back. So trying to sit really still when you're having those strong contractions is hard, and it was super uncomfortable. So my advice, like I said, if you're gonna do it as soon as you can. But like I said before, I was really glad that I did, because once I got the epidural, like it was such a relief. One of my biggest fears prior to getting an epidural was that I wasn't going to be able to like feel my legs or anything. Like it was going to be like this paralyzed feeling, wasn't going to be able to move. But that wasn't the case at all. I know other people I've talked to had those fears as well, and I can be the first to tell you, like, you can still move your legs and everything. It's not like you are paralyzed really at all. You can't feel your legs 100%. I don't want to say that to scare you, but it's not like weird. It just takes away the pain, a lot of the pain from the contractions, and obviously when you push the baby out, you can't. I didn't feel that. I just felt a lot. You feel a lot of pressure when you have an epidural and you push a baby out. Otherwise, it was such a relief, and I could just lay there and focus on, breathing and getting him out. He actually came out E-faced, and we had no idea. The doctors didn't even know that he was going to come out face up, but he did. And I had him out in an hour and 16 minutes, I think, which is pretty great. I would say all those squats paid off because I worked out up until I was right at 9 months pregnant. So I definitely say that helping to keep the pelvic floor strong helped getting him out. So that's definitely my recommendation. Anytime you get pregnant, squat, 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 as long as your doctor says that it's okay. So anyways, I had him out in an hour and 16 minutes. The full labor was like 7 hours. I was progressing like a centimeter every hour. But they said that typically when you have a baby E-face that it takes like 3 hours. And so, like I said, I had him out in an hour and 16 minutes. So that was pretty good. I think I handled everything pretty much like a champ. But anyways, so I had him and he weighed 8 pounds 10 ounces. Everything was great. Once the epidural started to wear off, that's when I started to feel like a lot of the uncomfortableness down there. Like when you go to the bathroom, a lot of burning. I'm not even going to downplay it. I bled for like 2 weeks after I had him. So I'll be the first to say I was a big fan of the adult diapers. They were pretty awesome. So anytime you give birth, adult diapers are great. But anyways, so the first few days were the roughest, like when it came to going to the bathroom and whatnot. Like I said, a lot of burning. And if you've had a vaginal delivery, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the squirt bottle that they give you. Like, love that thing anytime you go to the bathroom. If you're about to give birth, use it because it's great. So going into week 2, it was a little bit better, but still a lot of uncomfortableness. I was back to working out though within like 3 to 4 weeks, pretty much like I was before. I wasn't going as hardcore, but I was in the gym lifting weights. So that was pretty smooth. Started working out fairly quickly after I had him. Yeah, everything was pretty great with that delivery. Fast forward to my C-section, as I talked about in my first video, I talked a lot about my story around why I ended up having to have a C-section, the placenta abruption. If you want to hear about that story, you can go watch my first video. But I wanted to talk more about like what happened afterwards and how it's affected like my fitness and working out and stuff. With the C-section, like I said in the first video, the first week was the roughest. The first time getting out of bed in the hospital was the absolute worst. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. So for you, it may not be that bad, but for me, getting up the first time, like I was like this hunched over, couldn't stand up straight because it felt like I was just gonna rip apart. Going to the bathroom was super uncomfortable. I had a catheter in, had the whole 9 yards. So it's funny because I was talking to the nurse right before she took the catheter out, and I was like, I'm totally okay, if we leave the catheter in. Like, I'm totally okay with laying here and going to the bathroom. Like, I was completely dreading it because I knew that it was going to be not a fun experience. But we went in and took it out, and I lived, obviously. But definitely uncomfortable. Like I said, the first week was the roughest for me. Going in, and I want to backtrack. I want to add something in. Like I said in the first video, I had to be put to sleep for this C-section. It was an emergency C-section. And I didn't experience like the full, dilating to 10 centimeters like I did with my first. So I didn't have to go through, there's pros and cons with vaginal and C-section, honestly. I didn't have to go through like the painful contractions. I was only 1 centimeter dilated, so it was just like very mild cramping. So yeah, I didn't have to deal with that, which was kind of nice. It was nice because Like I said, the contractions for me and getting up there like 7, 8 centimeters, it was painful. But anyways, so fast forward back to like week 2, I started being able to stand up better, do more. And they said that you're not supposed to lift anything over like 25 pounds for the first 2 weeks. Not gonna lie, going into week 2, I started to lift my son. He's right at 25, 26 pounds. But for me personally, like I felt fine. I felt like I could do it. It didn't bother me. And actually, if I'm being 100% honest, within the first week, I was already cleaning and stuff like that. Because moving around for me helped me. And the doctors will even tell you, like, if you can walk, walk. Because if you just lay there in bed all day, your body's just going to get stiff and become accustomed to that. And it's going to be even harder to move around. And even harder on your incision. So move around as much as you can, walk, walk, walk. Up until this point, I'll be 4 weeks postpartum for my C-section on Monday. That's pretty much what I've been trying to do. Just walking around our neighborhood, around the backyard, playing with my son, things like that. That's kind of been my exercise. Haven't been able to work out as soon as I did with the vaginal delivery, but I do plan on Monday to start going to the gym again because our gym opened back up here, thank goodness. But I'm gonna really ease back into it. Definitely a lot slower than I did with my son because I know that this is different and I don't want to risk, screwing anything up and not being able to work out for even longer, right? So I'm just going to ease back into it, do a lot of upper body, continue to walk, get on the treadmill. For me, I get more motivated when I'm at the gym versus at home. So that's another reason why I want to start back at the gym. But also too, like I said in the first video, I was talking about sneezing, coughing, laughing, how hard all that fun stuff is. And it's painful, it hurts. I think I said it in the first video too. I recommend if you have a pillow or something, take a pillow and just, push it up against your stomach because it does help when it comes to those things. So what else? Other than that, like I said, I'm going to week 4 on Monday. I'm feeling pretty great at this point. There's nothing really that's hurting me at this point. I'm still bleeding a little bit, so I've definitely bled longer prior to my first birth, which kind of stings because like I said, it's a really long period and you just go away already, but no big deal. I'm still sore around the incision. If I touch it, there's still some pain there. Haven't been able to take my first bath yet. They told me to wait until my next checkup, which is at 6 weeks, I think, and I cannot wait to be cleared for my first bath, y'all, because taking baths is such a stress relief for me. I just want to relax in the bathtub, have a glass of wine, and just relax. So I cannot wait for that. The tape, my doctor already took off. She took it off at week 1. I know everybody's different with that, but she said that mine looked great, so she took it off already. The incision itself is healing pretty good. Like I said, it's really sore. I shower every single day. That's something that they recommend when you do have to have a C-section in order to keep, the cut clean, which I pretty much showered every day anyways prior, because I love taking showers and baths. But anyway, so yeah, at this point I feel great. Going into week 4, I'm doing a whole lot more than I was, that first week and whatnot. Like I said, I'm going to start getting back into lifting on Monday. Just a little bit though. I'm going to ease back into it. I recommend definitely listening to your doctor. You don't want to take any risks, and make things worse. And that's what I've been trying to do, even though I'm a little bit of a rebel when it comes to that thing. Even I'm, trying to take things slow because I know that this was a big deal. It's a big surgery when you have a C-section. So you don't want to mess anything up or make anything worse, like I said. So anyways, I'm glad that I could share my experiences with you. And like I said before, if you want to reach out to me, if you have any other questions, I probably still left some things out. I get a little scatterbrained all over the place when it comes to talking about these things. But if you want to chat about it, hey, I'm all ears. I love talking about birthing stories and whatnot, and exchanging experiences with people. I think it's really interesting. So anyways, that's my birthing experiences, and glad I could share it with you.